All right, and it's this easy. I really like this band. And I'm just going back to track 1 and 2. I looked, it looks like I didn't hit it that way. I've heard stuff off this album. But I mean, if I'm going to be true to myself, I got to stop jumping around and knock out the. I like hearing an initial offering. I like knowing the first album. Um, Sometimes, it feels like you could just tell. Um, and then other bands, it's weird because, right, lineup changes or other stuff. Who knows? You might not. I can think about it personally. A band that I really love. I think their third album, maybe it was their fourth, maybe their fifth album was good and on, kind of deal. So you never know. I mean, it's all personal. It's all whatever you think. At the very least, I want to come back and visit these creepy ass trees, man. So I hear from my Wikipedia search, which I don't care for, but I'll use for music. The Dragon Lies Bleeding's track 1 on Glory to the Brave. Because I can't see the bottom of. Whew, yeah. Just in case people forget. Technically, technically, at least that's what it says on my license. I don't drive without them. Let's put it that way. But hey, The Dragon Lies Bleeding, Hammerfall, Glory to the Brave. I'm kind of excited because everything so far has been fire. And it's time to hear the songs that the super fans or even just loyal fans haven't suggested yet. It's not that I disagree with any of them in any way. I want to hear the weak songs, the strong songs, all the songs. Because there are certain bands, especially, that I really like a couple of their tunes, but the fact that most of their catalog I don't care for, I don't honor them the same way. So it's time to hear it all. All right. Yeah, I think this actually qualified. I think it started off just fine. I'm not saying it's good, bad. I'm not. I don't have a final opinion yet, but I could offer this. Let's say you knew you were going out there with kind of your heroic sword and sorcerer deeds, strength, power, kind of all the basket of goodies you get in a Hammerfall song. Um, uh, dragon bleeding. I mean, you got all the subject matter in the first song on the first track. If you're talking about this just like a music purist who puts in an album and listens it from track one to the end, he's covering all their bases. You know, he's like, hey, we're gonna go on a quest. There is maybe you know, a warrior's Valhalla, but I ain't said that word right. I don't want to go there because I didn't say that. But you know, the imagery kind of thing really works good as I was sitting there smoking a fatty and looking at them creepy trees. Maybe it's a metal thing, honestly, because you know, the gallop beat. You could just ride that for a long time, and I'm a pretty happy guy. And that's not saying much. I admit it. You know, I mean, there's not much there, but there's something about. Heavy, see? Heavy. Don't run away, because we're going to do track 2 as well. Just to see, now this is off the remastered, so I'm going to consider, you know, look at that golden hue in there, upgraded. So I will consider that when hearing it. But this would be track 2, I think. I thought I looked. I was pretty sure I checked. And it could be just that super consistent sound. That's what the best way to do that. I don't think it will allow the dashboard to show. Sort of like when you're searching with, or trying to do a... Yeah, no. According to this, so it's just that familiar sound, which... It's funny, I was going to kind of... So on that last one, in the first track, It's not a bad mix, but you could have some of the vocals really even out with the guitar tracks, so you got to listen really close. But now, in a remaster, you just come on. There's something to be said for sound quality, right? I mean, that can't just be me. Yeah. So I mean, I should have probably listened to the other one too. Shoot, because boy, this mix is great. I mean, everything is popping out this time. So I mean, I think, or it's a good back to back to see what a little remastering can do. Now, I personally I like Maiden. I don't like none of the I thought the original cuts were great, but then it all it's once again, it's all subjective. I just like it. It's kick-ass.
I'm falling into the breach. Well, I'm a stranger in this land. I'm falling.
I got to be fair. There was other musics, but that's how I felt. That's how I felt. I was born into the metal. I mean, it was legitimate and on the radio. I mean, I will give it up to all the pioneers, stadium rock, from Sabbath on, right? That kind of paved the way. All music that paved the way, but all I know is last 3 years of like high school, that whole metal was real. You couldn't, it was real. You didn't, it was on the radio, it was everywhere. I didn't have to struggle. I was just able to embrace it. So here's to all the old metalheads out there who know that at least they came up in a time where their music was accepted and out there. It wasn't underground. I'm not saying this is. That's not my point. But it was cool. It was cool. The 80s were early 90s. And, obviously it's a generational perspective because each one has their own opinion on that. So don't listen to me. It's just what it makes me think of. I think that was it. Yeah, I do that. What do you know? There'll be links down below to the original posters and what we used, the links, and yeah, fire. Always. Have not. So even if those weren't at the top of people's lists, they're decent songs. And that one, I like that Metal Age. That was hot. That's a good song. We'll be back soon. Later.